Hey, good people. This is Struggling with Diabetes, and we're standing tall. Welcome to 2 for 2. Take 2 for type 2. Listen, this is a PSA, public service announcement for diabetes awareness. Yes, diabetes awareness. And I just want to say, to those of you who are viewing my content, and some of you may be first time viewers, but then there's a lot that aren't first time viewers. And the thing is, I'm seeing my view count, but it's not reflective in my subscribers, which is cool. I'm cool with it. I'm trying to learn this whole game of YouTube. I'm not an influencer. I'm not I'm none of that. The only thing I am is a real dude talking about real issues as it relates to type 2 diabetes and my walk with type 2 or being a type 2 diabetic. So I'm just merely talking and speaking on my experiences. So I'm not trying to be that one that get 1 million followers. If somebody follow me, beautiful. If they don't, I'm still good with it, simply because for me it's all about diabetes awareness. I want to support you in your diabetes journey, if you will, or as you are acquainted with someone that may have this chronic illness, diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So yeah, I just want to let you know that, I'm here supporting, I'm being supportive, and to those who are viewing this, listen, it's about supporting someone with diabetes or supporting individuals with diabetes. How do you support? Well, you make folk aware, diabetes awareness. You'd be surprised how many people are not aware of diabetes. And when they hear it, they shrug it off as if, oh, that's not my struggle, or that's not my fight, or yeah, it may not be, but then it may be. You may not even know. Not saying you, but I'm saying you may not even know. And then I am most certain that you know someone with diabetes. And you may know they have diabetes, or you may not know they have diabetes. Either case, there's someone in your sphere that has diabetes or have diabetes. So with that being said, you want to be an advocate in a way for diabetes, or you should. And when I say advocate, I mean someone who will promote, or someone who will mention, or someone who will even have empathy for those who have type 2 diabetes. Because a lot of times type 2 diabetics, it's not a fault of theirs. Not all of the time. And then the times that it is, most of that was, most of the not knowing was because they just didn't know. And they didn't know that they didn't know. Or they didn't know to know. You kind of get what I'm saying? No, I'm not saying you should feel sorry for people with type 2. No. But there should be some level of empathy, simply because a lot of people don't know what to do. They've been diagnosed with diabetes, they've been diagnosed with pre-diabetes, and they don't know what to do. And so a lot of people get scared and they do nothing. But I want to be that pillar. I want to be that beacon light that says, hey, over here, listen, here's a safe place. I don't know everything, but the things that I have discovered that are helping me deal with my diagnosis, I'm willing to share. My whole premise and my motto is no hype, no filter, just help. If I could help just one person, like that starfish, if I could bring a difference to one person's existence, then my work and my living is not in vain. I am doing more than my level best to help myself, to put my oxygen mask on first. I'm doing more than my level best. And I think I'm getting the hang of it, because it's an ongoing mission. It's not a cookie cutter template you could use and it works the same way every time. It just doesn't do that. It's like the day in the life. You got up yesterday, you did a certain thing, you had a certain regimen, you did, A, B, C, D. That was yesterday. But today, you may not could do A before B. You may not even do D. And you may skip to E. Every day is different. And that's what makes life life. Because it's different. And when you get stagnant, or when you get complacent, and everything stays the same, I don't know if it's atrophy or whatever just builds up, or where it doesn't build, it doesn't move, it doesn't go anywhere. And then now you have other issues to deal with. So I'm supporting diabetics. Even if I wasn't a diabetic, I believe I would be of support to diabetics. Another wish, that I was in this frame of mind 20 years ago. To be able to help even my own people, my dad, his brothers, his siblings. But we learn and we should grow. That's why I wear the merch. That's why I wear this, struggling with diabetes, because it is indeed a struggle. For those of you who don't know, who may be viewing this vid, diabetes is a struggle. I know there's a lot of jokes and a lot of punchlines at the expense of diabetics. It is what it is. But what's also included in that formula or in that calculation is it's a struggle. It's not easy. But when you have other folk that are standing with you, I don't mean judging. I think that's where we as the human race, have really got an F on our exam. We're failing. We have room to grow. We have room to make that grade up. But right now we're failing in that we are so quick to judge one another. I believe we judge people, or we judge others, out of 2, maybe 3 reasons. Because of 3 reasons. One is because we're scared. We're scared. Yeah. We're scared. Through projection, we put it on somebody else so that it doesn't hit us, because we are scared. So we judge people, especially those who have this chronic disease. And we make it seem trivial, or we make it seem simple. You know, if you didn't want to be a diabetic, that's all you had to do was stop eating sugar. For real? For real. That's what you think. So just stop eating sugar and that will do the trick. It's like magic, Houdini. See it now or you don't. Now it's gone. It doesn't work like that, people. It doesn't work like that. Ask any one person who has diabetes, what is their struggle? I'm sure well, first of all, none of them, not one, will say, no, it's not a struggle. No one will say that. Because it's definitely a struggle. Without question, it's a struggle. But if you ask, I'm sure you'll get, if you ask 10 people, I'm sure you'll get 10 different struggles. Yeah, diabetes is a cruel illness, because it affects everything. And when it comes to life, when it comes to quality, it can go in and wreak havoc. So again, a lot of people don't know they have diabetes, and then the ones who know they have diabetes, a lot of them don't know what to do about it, because they've been told all the time, hey, just stop eating sugar. Like you, somebody like you who would say, well, that's all you have to do is stop eating sugar. When I say like you, I'm talking about those who don't know or not understanding how this whole process works. There's a balance. There's a balance somewhere. It's not just not eating sugar. Why? Simply because everything except water essentially turns to sugar. Everything. I know you probably say, well, vegetables don't turn to sugar. Well, it has. There's some vegetables with sugar in it. But my point is, everything has sugar in it. So when you're talking about sugar, what kind of sugar are you talking about? How is it processed? Factory made sugar or organic sugar? How does it affect the body? All of these are things to consider. So next time you run into someone with diabetes, and you know they have diabetes, especially by watching them, the way they move, the way they eat, the way they're careful, about almost everything. Strike up a conversation with them if you can. I know it could be uncomfortable. You just want to let them know that you're supportive and you are aware. So I'm going to go now, but I just had this on me today to mention about diabetes awareness and support a diabetic. Because as you encourage someone with diabetes, you just may be saving a life. I'm struggling with diabetes, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.